5 of the Moni Moresby Kart Championship on the weekend was full of highs and lows for several drivers. But first, let's make a moment to appreciate how this club has risen from the dead after a 10-year nap. All thanks to Yanis Nicolaou, who, instead of basking in his own racing glory, decided to play the role of karting messiah. This guy has won more championships than he can count. Math might not be his strong suit, and now he's giving his time to make sure the next generation of drivers can experience the sheer joy of racing and probably the heartbreak of losing, right here in Papua New Guinea. Without Yanis, this club would still be nothing more than a dusty dream. And let's not forget our past and present club members, and most importantly, our sponsors. Moni Plus, our naming sponsor for the 3rd year running, is supported by Heineken 00 because drinking and driving don't mix. And FedEx, when it absolutely, positively has to be there overnight, just not your car parts. The highlights of the year so far? The ladies racing with a man in a new mixed category. They've shown they can hang with the best, shaking up the championship with their speed and relentless determination. Meanwhile, the rest of the pack is closing on the top 4 drivers, almost breaking the 49-second range. It's like watching a tortoise in a hare race, where the tortoise have finally discovered turbo boosters.
I'm feeling pretty good today. I think there's only about 8 or 9 of us today, so it's a smaller group. We've only just started racing with the men, so we've had 2 races with the men, and I've placed 2nd and 3rd. So we'll see how we go today. I don't really have any strategies. I kind of just race my own race. Just try to get my times up in the qualifying times to be at the front in that first race. So.
My aim for today's race is to concentrate on my lines and not get frustrated or sort of lose focus on what I'm trying to achieve today. It can happen when you're racing and you're not in the position you want to be. You get stuck behind somebody else and you get it in your head and you stop following your line. So yeah, that's my aim for today, to stay in my race.
Good. We don't have we got a few drivers out, work commitments and away. Yanis, the main man's away as well. So I think we're down to about 9 drivers today. But the pressure's still on. We got the girls coming up there just as quick as the boys. So we've got new contenders to battle on the field today. So the kart's pretty quick. There's not too much crap on the track, so it should be a good race.
Well, it's tough to get everyone on board every round. You know, everyone has their personal commitments, work commitments. But it gives a chance for us in the middle and at the back of the pack, you know, to hopefully get on the podium. Score some good points. This is my 2nd season running. I think I'm a bit of a speed junkie. It's really fun. It's something I enjoy, and it's a bit of a passion as well.
Qualifying started with Group A featuring Christian from Team On Track Racing, then Gagan and Jess Gagan from SBS Electrical Racing, and Chris Olsen from Helios Racing, who finally decided to show up after missing the last 3 races. Surprisingly, Chen was off the pace due to some front-end issues, clocking in the high 51s. It's only the 2nd time in about 30 races that Chen has qualified outside the top 4. The Gagan set a blistering pace, making Group B sweat more than a politician at a truth-telling contest. Group A results: then Gagan of SBS Electrical Racing at 48.9 seconds, Jess Gagan of SBS Electrical Racing 49.82 seconds, Chris Chen, Team On Track Racing 51.914, and Chris Olsen of Helios Racing 52.293. Next up, Group B with Leon Nguyen, Christy Holman, Matthew Knight, Clint Assam, and Andy Butler. The session was delayed because Nguyen's car decided it needed a dramatic malfunction. He thought he fixed it until he tried to turn it into a hairpin at turn 13, only to find his car had other plans, like going straight. He managed to fix it by holding the steering rod manually for the rest of the qualifying. Despite this, he was the fastest in Group B, even with his failed DAS or dual axis steering system. Assam, meanwhile, had mechanical issues with his turbos, because why not add some more drama? Group B results: Leon Nguyen, Team Buzz Racing at 50.63 seconds, Christy Holman, Mountain Dew On Track on 50.7 seconds, Andy Butler, Godzilla Racing 51.629 seconds, and Matthew Knight, SBS Electrical Racing, 53.24 seconds. Clint Assem, Bulla Racing did not qualify. Heat 1. It was a clean start for everyone as Dan and Jess led the way into the first corner. Nguyen got squeezed out on the first corner, allowing Holman and Chen to capitalize as they headed down turn 4, the Harajuku hairpin, which is usually full of surprises. This time everyone handled it with the grace of figure skaters, if figure skaters drove karts. Dan pulled up a gap, followed by Jess, Holman, Chen and Nguyen. Nguyen was all over Chen like a rash, giving him a few love taps to hurry him up. But Chen was clearly struggling with his tires. Nguyen was relentless, like a chef trying to escape a food coma until lap 4 when his electrics failed and engine cut off. Chief Engineer Albert E. Dock later confirmed that the flux capacitor failed due to incorrect hydrogen isotope fusion, or should have used E equals mc squared. Butler, driving like his kart was on caffeine high, started closing in on Chen. Olsen and Knight were having mini battle, with Knights aiming for the title of the Bull Giraffe since Corey Van Janneran relinquished that title after retiring from the sport prematurely when he was forced off the track by a 2-foot jabble in Season 1. Assem eventually got on track with a spare kart launched by Dan Gagan, usually driven by future champion Jeremy Fry. Overall qualifying results: Dan Gagan 48.910, Jess Gagan 49.824, Leon Nguyen 50.632, Christy Holman 50.786, and rounding up the top 5, Andy Butler 51.629 seconds.
The conditions are a bit different today because with the sun, because of the heat, what happens is the tarmac will get hotter, the surface temperature is a bit warmer, and so the tyres get a harder time as well because they get hot. So when they get hot, they can overheat and then you lose grip on the track. So it doesn't sound like much, but when you're racing, it could be half a second per lap slower. And if someone else has cooler tyres than you, then they'll be faster than you. So it becomes a strategic, you got to start thinking about your strategy with the tyres and how well you can manage them. And then if you can look after your tyres throughout the day, it can pay off at the end of the day. And then so, yeah, when it comes down to, like, if you have an equal playing field and everyone's got a good kart and everyone's got a good driver, but then you have good tyres and bad tyres, then the person with the good tyres will come out on top. And then so that's how it's going to pan out today, because you can feel the heat. It's really hot today and no wind, so yeah, so we'll see how today goes.
Hit 2 is always exciting, like watching a slow motion car chase. Starting grid: Clint Assem, Matthew Knight, Chris Olsen, Andy Butler, and Chris Chan. Wrapping up the top 5. The flag drops and Knight jumps ahead of Assem to take the lead, but the big movers were Dan Gagan and Chan, both quickly hitting the nose bottle to gain positions. They slingshot down the outside, instantly gaining a few spots by the turn 4 of Harajuku hairpin. Amidst the first lap mayhem, Chen and Gagan quietly made their way to the front. Chen took the lead on lap 2 from Knight, but close behind was Gagan, who was playing bumper cars with Assem. The duo flew through the corners like synchronized swimmers with wheels, and Gagan eventually tapping Assem on the tush to secure second place. Behind them, Holman and Jess Gagan had front row seats to the action. Jess was pursuing Holman, who overshot her braking point on lap 3, giving Jess the opportunity to pull a slick undercut and take third place. These two ladies were proving that they could give the guys a serious run for the money. With laps running out, Dan threw everything he had at Chen but couldn't make it stick. Chen kept his cool and held off Dan, who drove like Orange Lives Matter.
I tried to the night before, have a good rest, and I watched my previous video from the last race and try and learn from that. It seems to be working. Be patient, because when you first start, when you go against the experts, You always think, I can never ever catch them. But over a period of time, you will get there eventually.
You don't know how it's going to go until basically into the final heat, I guess. So last race I didn't finish the first heat, I didn't start the second, and then I end up coming third. So it just depends how it goes on the day, I guess. Well, I've rebuilt the kart from scratch, so I'm feeling good at the moment, but we'll see. Until I get out there, I won't know anymore. We've got Chris came back today, so he's not here this race, but we've still got a number of good races. And again, we've got the girls too, really competitive. So.
The final grid of Heat 3 is Dan Gagan in pole position, Jess second, Leon Nguyen third, Christy Holman fourth, and Andy Butler on fifth. Dan Gagan and Chan took off into the first corner while the rest following in line heading down the Harajuku hairpin. Nguyen's flux capacitor issues persisted, forcing him to retire yet again, possibly contemplating kebab options for dinner. Out front, Dan and Chan pulled away with Jess Gagan and Holman holding on with striking distance. These two ladies posted impressive lap times with Jess fastest at 49.571 and Holman at 49.227. Asem had a terrible day until the last race, hanging in there and taking third spot on the podium thanks to the benevolent cover gods. Butler struggled with his flux capacitor issues while Knight appeared to be more interested in perfecting his skiing technique. Final results we see Dan Gagan first, second Chris Chan, third Clint Asem. Ladies, first Jess Gagan and second Christy Holman.